Over 3.5 million people in the US qualify for Mexican citizenship, but never claim it, which means they're missing out on countries Mexicans can enter visa-free, but Americans can't. Recently, my wife asked me, so you can save money by having multiple passports? Yes and no. And I'll get into that. But first, let's talk through her questioning awareness that brought her from the first question that she asked to that question so that you're more aligned when you find out the answer closer to the end of this video. Now, this is not going to be a video about me chronicling my path to Mexican citizenship. But if you want a video like that from me, drop it in the comments. Be like, hey, John, make that video you were talking about. She first asked me, what countries can Mexicans go to? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, a lot of countries. There's so many. And I helped her ask a better question. That Americans can't. Visa-free. Remember, I'm not saying Americans can't go. I'm just saying Mexicans can go a little bit more easily and a little bit more cheaply. So look it up with me. Go to passportindex.org. I literally have the page pulled up right here. Right now, as of the time of this recording, there are 5 countries that Mexican passport holders can go to visa-free that a U.S. passport won't get you into visa-free. So right off the bat, I answered a question. Venezuela. Mexicans can show up visa-free in Venezuela. If you go with a U.S. passport, you need a visa. Belarus, Bolivia, Brazil, Iran. Russia is an e-visa, that's why it's blue. And Uzbekistan and Venezuela, all visa-free for holders of a Mexican passport. Hopefully that starts to open your brain that different passports can get you into different places that maybe your normal passport or like first passport won't let you into visa-free. Now, I'm not saying Americans can't go to Venezuela. Remember, I'm an American. Being an American doesn't prohibit me from getting in. It's just using my U.S. passport to travel through immigration in Venezuela would necessitate a visa, whereas using my Mexican passport when going through immigration in Venezuela would not. Next, she asked me, does every country require a visa? And it's like, well, yes, but it depends on for who. Because it's not like every country requires a visa for every person that wants to visit. There's something about countries that you should know. They're like brands. They want your money. They want your tourism money. And there's certain blocks, I don't know if that's the right word, but like agreements and groups of agreements between countries that say, hey, I'll let your guys in without a visa and you let my guys in without a visa. Cool? And they go, cool. The next question she asked me was, does it cost money to get a visa? For individuals with a US passport, visas can range anywhere from like $185 to over $345, maybe even more. But yes, there is a cost. Do Americans pay to get into Mexico? Yes and no. If you just drive there, no. If you fly there, yes. So how much does it cost an American to visit Mexico by air travel? The VISITAX is like $35. Nothing insane, but it's still $35. And if you have a family of 4 or 5, you're paying $100, $150. And then she asked me, and Mexicans do not pay that VISITAX? I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's visit and the word tax combined. No, Mexicans do not pay that tourism fee or VISITAX, whatever it's called. They have to let you in if you're Mexican. So does it save money to have multiple passports? I'll tell you one thing right now. It doesn't save me any money, but I love doing it because it can in the future, depending on what you do. If you are a manufacturer and you want to open up a factory in Veracruz or somewhere, the Gulf Coast, and you had to fly down there a lot and set things up and recruit some labor from Veracruz, and you shipped product to the EU and you have an EU passport, it might start to save you some money with all the travel, but most of all with all the connections that you'll be able to make and the doors it could open. So yes, depending on what you do, it's going to save you like a ton of money, actually. For the normal average also, no. Having multiple citizenships is going to cost you money. Not a ton of money, because depending on how you get citizenship, and I'll talk about this in a different video, it's just nominal fees that you pay to make it official. It's a lever, yes, but it's not like some sort of magical opportunity. And look, I mean, if you travel a lot, if you fly to Mexico a lot, it's going to save you $35 every time you land in Mexico. So, I mean, if that's saving money, then absolutely. So what about you? Are you one of those 3.5 million Americans who are eligible but don't yet have Mexican citizenship? That could be because of a Hispanic background or Mexican background. A lot of people that I know have ancestors who were born in Mexico, even though they're ghetto or gringo like me. So yeah, tons of cool paths you could take if you want to go down that road, and it is very fun. And yes, it can definitely save you and earn you a ton of money depending on how you leverage it and depending on what your normal activities are in your day-to-day anyway.